so let's get started. We're going to start off with doing the first lollipop, which is like a nice yellow with a bit of orange in. Make sure there's some water on your brush, and I do have some yellow mixed in with the water here ready. So we're going to do our first orange lollipop, ice lolly, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to use the points to get it in as best I can. I do need to just push the board drawing back a bit more. I had to draw it again. So there we are. Then the next one, we'll add a bit more of that same colour on the stripe for this one. I'm just going to have that yellow in there. Now I can't straight away go in and paint the colour above, although I'd like to because I'm always in a rush, but we need to dry it. If I don't dry it, the colours will mix into each other and it will just look a hot mess. I think that's as dry as we need it. I can see it's dry at the top edge. Right, so now I'm just going to add a little bit more orange into that mix. There we are. A little bit more, I think. It's still a similar colour. Let's keep going. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a nice deep orange now. So just do the next stripe of the ice cream, the ice lolly, which is great. So just fill it in as best you can. Doesn't need to be too neat. These are watercolours, and it's fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. Let that dry and go back. It looks quite red on the screen, but it's not in real life. It's quite a deep orange. Okay. Then looking at my picture, I think you can see that I'm going to go in with a red, a bright red. And then at the top, I think it's like a purpley red. Right, so now I'm going to come in. It will mix a little bit, but because I have surface dried it, it shouldn't mix too much. There we go. So now you can see against that colour that it wasn't red, although it looked it on the screen. It's orange. So we'll dry. I think we'll go a bit higher with that one. Then we've just got the tip of the next colour to do. So we'll dry that one off. Again, got to keep drying in between layers. We do not want them mixing. That's what happened on my first attempt when I was playing around, and that's why we had to have that little cut and start again. That's why I had to rub out the drawing again. I'd redrawn it. Whoop. Trying to dry the top bit just so that the water will guide itself into its place, but it's nice and dry there now, so I can add another colour. So it's kind of like purpley colour at the top. I like that. It's quite bright, but yeah, let's go for that. I like it. This is what I like about art, is just experimenting and playing with colour and seeing what happens. And you know, we all make mistakes, but that's learning. That's learning. Okay, so that's finished. Let's move on to our lovely little pink one on the end. Let's see, have I got a nice pink? I think this pink might be a bit bright. Might be all right actually. Let's mix it over here. I mean, there's a bit of orange in there. Let's get rid of that orange and that blue they're finished with. Let's get some pink. It's a very bright pink, but I think if we add some white to that, I think that will make a lot of difference. So pinky it up. Yeah, there we go. Trying to make a bit of a baby pink, aren't we? Very kind of neutral. Can you see? There we go, baby pink. So it looked that pink to start with, added some white, and then we've just babied the colour up a bit. Okay, this is one of those little lollies that we tend to give to the children, isn't it? Mini milks, I think they're called, mini milks. There we are. Okay, so that's basically it in terms of painting. We just need to let it dry properly. We are going to do the stalks down here. Now, all we need for the handles, the stalk bits at the bottom, are something kind of wood coloured. So I'm thinking like yellow ochre or something. So that's a yellow ochre. Can you see? I think that's quite a nice wood colour. So let's get some of that mixed colour mixed up ready. I'm just looking at that. It might be a bit too yellowy. If we add a little bit of brown in, it might make it a bit brownier. There we go. So it's yellow ochre with another mixture of brown, and it's given me quite a nice wood colour. I'm just going to add a bit more brown. I don't want it too brown, but as we're adding water, it's going to make it pale anyway. So a nice shade of brown, that's perfect. And I'm just going to fill in and let the water go where it wants to, really. Don't worry about it, just it ends up where it ends up. And use the brush. Oh, see, some of that's, forgot that the pink wasn't dry. Use the brush to guide it wherever you want it, but then also just let it stop, because it's wood, the handles are wooden, and they will eventually they'll look like wood. They'll have lots of different bits to them. Right, let's give it a dry. Really dry. Okay, now you can just leave them like that. However, what I have been doing and will continue to do is to outline. So you need a black liner pen. This is a 03, I don't know if you can see there, 03 liner pen. And we're just going to go over our drawings. Now, what I recommend you do when you do this is actually move your paper around to draw it in a comfortable manner, rather than trying to move your arm around and contortion your arm. You move the paper. People just sometimes forget to do that. You're in control. Move the paper if you need to. So you can see it makes it pop a little bit, but obviously you don't have to do that. If you wanted to leave it looking like natural like it is, then of course you can do that. And also, you know, this is just the first idea. You can go away with the lollipop idea, the ice lolly idea, and you can come up with different versions. Have your different colours on your ice cream, on your ice lolly. Change the traffic light colours into whatever colours you want. So there we go. And I'm going to come back that way because I prefer to draw the line coming towards me. Whatever feels right for you, where you think you can be more accurate. There we go. Lollipop's done. Now, as with all of my other watercolours, you will see I do love to splash a bit. So I'm going to get the edge of a brush. That's all I need. I'm going to make sure my brush is nice and watery. I think I want some more yellow, so I'm just going to mix some of that up first. And we can splash some of that yellow around, because I think splashes with these lollipops will look great. Yeah, so we've got some yellow splashed. Don't want it to be too watery, got to be careful. You can always do a test spatter first, get the big blobs off, and then go in with little blobs. The harder you press, the bigger blobs you'll have. The softer you press, the littler blobs you'll have. Yeah, and then you could go in with some red if you want. Red's quite a loud colour. I always say loud, it's very in your face. So I'll do a little bit of that, but not too much. And there we have it. It's all done. so that was today's tutorial. Again, as I said, the sheet for drawing and looking at all the other versions in acrylic and pastel and colour pencils are all online as well. Check out the link below. Thanks. Have a good day, everyone.